everyone, welcome back to the channel. Happy Monday. It's a new week. It's the last week in May. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you had a great weekend. It has been raining for days here, and so it would be nice if it could stop raining and we could get some sunshine. That's my hope for this week. Anywho, let's jump into it. This is the weekly energy reading for May 26th through to May 30th. We've got the Everyday Witch Tarot, the Everyday Witch Oracle, and the Crystal Intentions Oracle, which I'll pull last. So, weekly energy. What is the weekly energy reading all about? Well, there are four dimensions of our four dimensions of our energy. There is the physical, there is the emotional, there is the mental, and there is the spiritual. And so we are going to do it that way. I like to change it up every once in a while. We're going to pull four cards from the Everyday Witch Oracle, and then we're going to pull the tarot cards and sort of get an overview of that, if that makes sense. I want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. It truly means the world to me to have your support. All right, so our first card is out. All right, we've got some jumpers, some flyers, lots of energy. Please don't forget to hit that thumbs up, leave a comment, subscribe to the channel, all of the things. They help the algorithm, help the channel stand out. All right. So we have our four cards. Let's turn them over. I love the artwork in this deck. It's just glorious. I'm going to move that out of the way. Hopefully you can see these. It's so funny to me. They look straight. And then I look up on the screen and they're completely crooked. All right. So our first card is Learn from Life. So this is under the physical, learn from life, right? This is about like knowing what you can do, sometimes pushing the limits, sometimes setting boundaries for yourself, paying attention to what your body is telling you, those kinds of things. When you feel like you can do more, do more. When you feel like you need to take a rest, take a rest. This is about listening to your body, right? Paying attention to those kinds of signs. Like if you're tired, rest. If you're hungry, nourish yourself, right? If you're feeling you need to get out and get some fresh air, step outside, stick your hands in the garden, right? Learn from life. Our life experiences provide us with this foundation of lessons that if we accumulate those lessons and implement them into our daily routines, it can help us to navigate future challenges, right? Because we have that experience under our belt. Our next card, so this is the emotional. We have Plant the Seeds. Putting in place those lessons that we have learned from life, right? It is the foundation, as I just said. The next card, which is the mental, Healing Waters. I love how this is setting up because this is like a really good recipe. It's like the cookie dough right? That you can then add and subtract and multiply, right? There is like a foundational cookie dough recipe or bread recipe, for example, and you can add and change and, you know, make all sorts of things. It's not just one variety all the time. That's how this spread is working out. The healing waters. You know, to me, this is about the balance, right? This is about the balance between knowing when is enough, knowing when is too much, knowing when we don't have enough. Again, there is this intuitiveness that is coming here, right? Or coming in here. We have the learning from life, listening to your body, right? We have the planting of the seeds, the understanding that we have that perspective, the healing waters, knowing when we need to slow down, when we need to take a breath, when we need to remove ourselves from chaos, from noise, when we need to provide ourselves with that quiet time so that we can sort out our thoughts. Our last card, which is the spiritual, and we have connect with Gaia, connecting with Earth, the grounding of that, the opening up of removing ourselves from our own lives, our own noise, our own chaos, right? When we step outside the door and we smell the flowers and we hear the birds chirping and we feel the sun's warmth, when we take in the fragrance of the flowers and the coloring of what's outside in nature, when we see the critters rolling around on the ground or climbing in the trees, these are all blessings. And if we can remove ourselves from our own, what's going on in our own lives, we can really be opened up, right? Think about sitting outside on a summer's evening and looking up at the stars and just getting lost in the magic of that atmosphere and that environment, right? It is this really like a free reset, if you will, right? Nature provides that for us. So, great recipe that Spirit has given us for this week. Listen to your body, learn from those experiences, always nurture yourself, create a balance, and stand within that foundation. There's dogs barking in the background. I want to just say, and I want to record this. Thank you, Spirit, because I have a major question that I'm asking myself, and these cards are helping me with the answer. And for those of you that may be wondering, what the heck am I talking about? Stay tuned for that. Big announcement happening in the near future. All right. We need 4 cards. Love it. We have strength on the bottom of the deck. So, physical, we've got the Ace of Swords, the aha moment, the sort of like the light bulb has shone brightly, right? Things are being illuminated. We're standing in our truth. We're at that moment where, all things are starting to come together and finally something seems to be making sense. The emotional. And I love this, the 5 of Wands. The 5 of Wands is conflict. right? Now, remember when I said about planting the seeds, right? This is about balance. It's about boundaries. It's about nurturing. What is best for you? This isn't about other people. It's about what's best for you. And sometimes we can get that confused. We can get caught up in that very thin line about, am I doing everything right for me, or is this everything right for everybody else? Right? So making sure that we're listening to ourselves as opposed to what society tells us, what other people expect from us, that's kind of the idea. Okay. And also, if we have people in our ear, whether this is actual people or like our, negative self-talk, for example, in our ear telling us, hey, who do you think you are? You can't do this. You're not allowed to do this, right? You shouldn't be doing this. Any of those kinds of things. This, again, is talking to us about that emotional state. We need to nurture and embrace our growth, right? To encourage growth, not to stunt it. This is very much the opposite result that we want, right? We want to nurture and plant the seeds. We want to be invested in our growth and in our potential. We don't want outside influences telling us what we should or should not be doing, because they don't know us. We know us. It's that kind of vibe. Next is our mental, and we have the 10 of Cups. I love this. This is the happy family, right? This is love, and this is joy, and this is blessings, and this is, the Saturday where we sit around in the backyard, the barbecue, and the friends are coming over, and we're just having a good time being in each other's company, right? The healing waters. Whatever that is for you. It's allowing ourselves to feel that joy. We've got to find that joy. We've got to embrace that joy. We want to bring that joy closer to us, right? Create our own joy, perhaps. Lastly, spiritual, and we have the Lover's card. This is harmony. This is unity. This is, two coming together, joining forces, and allowing that energy to sort of, now become one, if you will, right? Very much in that moment that I said before about the connect with Gaia, the going outside and realizing all of these, amazing things are happening in nature that really are a blessing if we can just step outside of ourselves. And the overlying energy for this week is strength. Put on your super cape, right? This is your perseverance. This is who you are at your core, what you're capable of. So this week, we are realizing what is right, what is not right for us, and we are putting this plan into action. Things have come together, things are making sense, and we're not allowing outside influences to tell us what is best for us. We have learned from our life experiences. We are creating that foundation. We are nurturing that foundation. We are expressing ourselves, and we are standing firm in the idea that we've got this. We can do this, right? This feels very much like I am driving up to my friend's house that I've been excited about visiting for a week. And I've pulled up in the driveway, and I've gotten out of the car, and I just sort of take in the scenery, right? The house, the lawn, the flowers. And I think about what's on the other side of that door. My friends, my family, the joy, the laughter, the comfortability of it. Like there's like a level of excitement here, a level of almost like anticipation, if you will. That's what this energy feels like to me. And honestly, it makes me kind of teary-eyed because it's joyful energy. From the Crystal Intentions Oracle, I love this deck. We have the glorious Amethyst. For those of you that know me, you know that Amethyst that's my stone. On the back side of the card, it says, develop intuition, use your psychic gift, increase your dream recall, and the interpretation of symbols in all areas of life. Transform and transmute negativity. On the front side of the card, it says, I pay attention to my intuition and my dreams. I easily interpret their messages. This excitement that's building. Now, if you've had a dream recently, if you've manifested something recently, if your intuition is telling you that something is about to switch or shift, we've been talking about a shift for the last couple of weeks in our readings, right? It's arrived. We are there. We were building up. They say that amethyst is sort of like, the overall stone. At least that's what I've read. If you got something that you need to solve or whatever, grab an amethyst and you're sort of, you're good. Or maybe that's just how I feel, which it is how I feel about my amethyst. All that to be said is that it feels like I wanted this, I hoped for it, I wished for it, and now it's arrived. And the idea of that energy should never be discounted, right? The idea that you brought this to fruition should not go by the wayside. I want you to appreciate the magic in that moment, right? The energy of that moment and how that makes you feel. Getting excited about something, being anticipation filled for an exciting adventure or an exciting plan. Relish in that energy. It's joyful. It's nurturing. Awesome reading for this week. Do hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for spending part of your day with me. I wish you many blessings until we see each other again. Mwah. Have a great week, everybody.